What's happening, everybody? Amp Capo here, Black Adonis Games. We are inside of Lyra starter game inside my project, The Lesser God. Today, we are going to be working. This is the engine 5.03. All right. And what I'm going to show you guys today, you can see it's a little glitchy because we're in the engine, guys. So trust me, with all the work I got done, I'm surprised it even plays at all in the engine. What we're going to do today is we're going to be going over the footstep system. And if you listen, I did turn things down a little bit so they're not too loud, but should be able to hear the footsteps here for different surfaces. So there you go. And this works pretty much on every surface now. I already got it set up for my whole landscape. And we're gonna go down and just check down here. Ooh. All right. So there you go. And all we're gonna do is we're gonna go over this, all right? And I'm gonna show you guys basically how I got this in here. So let's go ahead and stop playing in the editor. All right, guys. So this is gonna be a little bit lengthy, but it shouldn't be too bad, guys. I'm gonna try to do it as fast and broke down as possible. So this is the first thing I suggest. If you have your sounds and all of those things, guys, get your cues together for what you want. The first thing that you're gonna want to do to set this up in Lyra, like even if you're using another footprint or footstep system, for sounds, you're gonna want to move it over to the Lyra version. It's actually pretty cool. I'm gonna go ahead and we're gonna go to the first thing that you're gonna want to do is go to your project settings. All right, so you're gonna want to go to project settings, and when you get to project settings, basically what you're gonna want to do here is you're gonna want to type in the word surface. All right. So once you go here, you're going to see this is DT surface types. I'm going to go ahead and look that up because we're going to need this folder. So just go ahead and click on search for that and just minimize it. Keep it to the side because we're going to definitely need this DT surface types. This is the data table for the surface types. And this is so cool how it does it in Lyra. Basically what happens is anything that you create here in the Lyra context effect settings right here where it says surface type to context map, that's basically transferring whatever your normal engine physics, which if you're familiar, normally your physics are here, you know, default physics settings, and they are still here. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna add your physics here. And then like I'll add one, for instance, we'll just call one air just to make it something. I'm not gonna use it probably, but I can delete it when I don't need it. So here you go. We got the surface called air, all right? So then what you're going to do here is you got to remove the default. So basically you delete your default here. All right. And well, actually, my bad. You go like that. You just replace your default here with air. All right. Then what you're going to do is you're going to have to create your surface type. All right. This is the cool thing is you can do all that right here. So you just click here and you go to surface. So type surface. And then you'll see all your surfaces come up, and then you just click this little add sub tag. All right. And then you could just type air on the end of that like that. All right. That's it, guys. Now anything that is air, boom, it's going to have, you know, a surface type available for it. Okay. So that's the basics. This is your engine physics for all of your physical materials. Now, after you're done adding all of your surfaces, you want to make sure that you go back in and add another default, which it'll automatically turn to default. And then you want to go in here and just type default. All right, surface type default. That way, any surface that you have that is not, does not have a surface material set up for it, a physical material set up for it, it will trigger off the default sound as it normally did in the regular version of Lyra, okay? So just make sure that you always put a default one there at the end if you want to continue to use the default sounds, all right? So now the next thing you want to do is you want to go to the folder that we just were talking about here. And I'm going to show you a few things. The first thing is this is your default, okay? This is your SFX default skin. All right, and this is basically all of the surfaces go here with their sounds, okay? And when you first get in here, you're probably only going to see, I believe, all they have is glass, concrete, and default inside of this when you first started. All these other ones I added. They're very simple to add, guys. Basically, if I wanted to add air, and I'm going to blow this up so you guys can see it better. If I wanted to add air, basically what I would do is I would go here. Okay. Once we get down to the bottom here, you're going to see a new member, number 14. I'm just going to drop it open. And then you're going to see I can go here and type in surface. Oop, didn't put the F. And now I can choose air. So you see that? So you can see that that's not what we want to do, but I'm just showing you guys you can go here. What you want to do is you want to mimic what you see here. So you're going to have one for landing. So what you're going to do is you're going to type in land, and then you'll select footstep land. All right. So you'll see here, that's the first thing. And then you want to put the surface type. So then that's where you'll go here and you'll select the surface type. And you'll select air. That's it, guys. So every time the character lands, if they land on air, this is what happens. All right. And then you have another default up here you want to do for your walk. There's not really one for sprint. I think it takes walk and just transfers it into sprint. But you do the same thing here. You could just go insert, and then you do the same thing. You say walk, and then you want to do anim effect walk. Okay, you want to make sure that that's the walk you're choosing. All right, and then you just go in here and the same thing, dude. You're just gonna put air, and we could probably just type air because it's the only thing air in there. All right. So the next thing is in these, you're going to want to add your sound effects. So for air, you can go here. Once you click, you can pick whatever sound you want. All right. So what we're going to be working on, though, is making the meta sounds. Okay. So that we only use meta sound sources. Like if you clicked here, you could put in any of these. Like I could put in any of these and they would work. But you want to try to make a meta sound, and that's very important. All right. I'm not going to do this one for air, but that gives you guys the idea how to set this up. I'm going to actually delete these because I don't want to use those right now. All right. And we're going to go down. I'm going to delete this other one as well. And this is just me, guys. Keep yours if you're working on them. All right. I just don't want those effects in the game. All right. So now next, this basically sets up your data table. This sets up, like I said, what animation effect, which I'm sure all these animation effects have some sort of notifiers and things like that, and animations that are triggering them off. So next thing you want to do is what we're going to do is we're going to check the surface types here. So if you go here and we say footstep wood walk, you go here and you're going to see that I have a whole folder that I set up just for footsteps, a custom one. I'm actually going to move it out of the audio folder. What you want to try to do is always put all of your contents into its own location so that if you update, it doesn't affect the new things that you added. Like right now, if I were to update the audio folder from inside of an update of some sort, if they brought an update and I just wanted to merge in, right now I can merge and this would not be affected because this is a separate folder that's not even an actual default folder in Lyra. So that's why I did that, and I separated it for easy finding. What I did was, since you guys have other effects, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you guys a really nice trick to figure all this out. The first thing you want to do is right click on one of the sounds that you have, and your sounds will be, they should say FS on them. So I'm going to see if I can find an actual regular FS sound. So you guys, here we go. So this is what we're looking for. And you see there's the bass meta, there's the concrete, and there's the glass. All right. So if you open this up, you're going to see this is the default sound. You can play it here. I don't know if it's playing. It's pretty quiet. I don't think it's playing. I think this gets activated by the footstep, but I was pretty sure you could play them. I'm gonna go into one of mine right quick and see. Just be wanting to check the differences here. All right, and there you go. You can hear the grass. All right, the bass one doesn't. This is the default, and actually, this is the one you don't want to mess with. You don't need to mess with that one. But what we do want to do is you want to go to, in your project, I want to use one of the same ones you have. So I'm going to just type that FS in again, and we're just going to go back out here to audio again. And this way we could find out what folder these are in. So if we go here and we say show in folder view, these are in your meta sounds folder, okay? So we're going to go FS. And I'm going to open concrete, guys. And this is what you're going to want to do. Okay. It's very easy. You're going to want to duplicate one of these. So if I wanted to make one for air, for instance, I would just duplicate this one. So we're going to duplicate this sound. All right. And then you just change the name of what you want it to be. We're going to call this one air. All right. All right. And then you can move this to your own folder, sort of like I did. I'm going to move this to my footstep folder. So that way I'm not messing with anything else. And then I'll go in here and you'll see the FS air, okay? So I'm gonna open this FS air. And it's so easy, guys, what you need to do here. This is your initialize, like your node for, this is like your event begin play. So this is on play. You just wanna make sure you keep these things the way they are, all right? This is your Foley input, all right? And this is your footstep input. Now the Foley input is kind of like to give it some variance. That's what I've seen it for. It's if you listen to one of these, which we can, you can hear it. It's quiet, but, and these are just little noises that I believe it blends with the footsteps to give them a little bit more, you know, uniqueness every time. So that's all that is, guys. The Foley you can leave the same, or you could change it to be what you want it to be. All right, and that's up to you if you have some different footsteps of your own. But that's what that is. And then you want to hook that into here where it says Foley. So these you can just edit and replace your own here. If you have less, you can delete and start fresh, or you could just replace the ones here with your own. If you have only 4, then delete the rest of them. Then you got your actual footstep sounds, which are here. All right, so these are the actual footsteps and they go into here. All right, so what I'm gonna show you here is we're gonna open this so you can hear. So those are footsteps. All right, so basically what you want to do is you want to make sure that you replace these with your footstep, your own personal footstep sounds. Like some of mine only had 5 sounds for my footsteps. Some had 8, and you know, just different ones. But they have actual foot left and foot right sounds, which you don't have to do that, but you can. These also may be set up some kind of way to where they're panned a little bit or something, who knows, but they have individuals for left and right foot. You don't have to do that. You can replace them just 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 with your sounds. All right, so then what's going to happen is then you got your out mono, which that's what you want. It's footsteps. You don't really need them to be in stereo. And then on finished, you want to make sure that's connected. Okay, so I did want to show you this, and you can highlight these up here. These basically represent, like, you can drag this out, and that's how you get the Foley. You can drag this out. That's how you get the footsteps, okay? So this is just like working in any blueprint. It's pretty much the same thing. It's just a sound blueprint, which is very nice. And this is your gain for your footsteps and your gain for your Foley sound. So you could turn this up or down as much as you need per character, okay? So that's it, guys. Once you make this, this is what you're going to assign here. So now you could take this air. If we were to make the air one again, I'm just going to make one just to make it again, just so you guys can see it again under the SFX default skin. And we're going to open this up and we're going to just make this one more time. So we go here first, and you want to go to the anim type, which is land. So we can just type in land and then highlight that. So that's anim effect footstep land. And then we want to go here, we're going to type air. All right, and then it's gonna say, boom, there's the air. And then you want the actual effect, you're gonna just add one. And then we should be able to type air and scroll down, and there's our new sound for air. So there you go, guys. So once you have that, all of your effects are pretty much set up. And once again, guys, I'm gonna delete this one because I really don't want this in here. Just doing this to show you guys. All right. So that's pretty much how you set up the footsteps and everything. It's very basic. If as long as you copy one of the originals, this is going to work flawlessly every time. All right, now I'm going to try to go into trying to set this up for your materials. So we're going to get out of here now, and we're going to go back into the project, okay? And what I did, the way my landscape is, and I'll show you guys mine just so you can kind of get a little bit of an idea. If you have a layered landscape, and most of the time if you've got one from Epic, you can do it this way. What you want to do is go here to landscape mode, and you want to go to paint. All right. Once you go to paint, you're going to see all your landscapes here. Okay. I only use this just to get to the main folder. All right. And I'm going to start, you have your auto layer. Usually if you have a layered landscape, this is your utmost layer. Okay. This is the layer that contains everything. Okay. And then these are your individual layers. What we're going to do though is we're going to actually go here. We're going to open this folder up to search for it. And then I'm going to put this back to select because I don't want to accidentally edit my landscape. But once you have that open, now you want to click on this. I always do my auto landscape layer first. Otherwise, you're going to feel like something's wrong. All right. So with auto landscape layer, what you want to do is you want to set this to be whatever the dominant effect is. Like on my level, the dominant effect is grass. Okay, because there's more grass. Sorry about that. And I'll explain that to you guys right quick what I mean. If you look on my landscape here, the majority of my landscape is grass, okay? So that's why I selected grass. If the majority of yours is dirt or dust or whatever you got, you just select that one. All right, so you click on this. You set this up to the PM grass, okay? Now, when you click on PM grass, there are settings for it here, and this is where you set your surface type. So you go here, and then see all of our surface types that we created are here. All right. So this is already set to grass. That's what we want it to be. And then you want to add that to your landscape layer. Now I'll move to another layer. Okay. So this will be the cobblestone layer. So this is for the cobblestone that's on the ground. Let's go back to the map so I can show you what that is. That would be these areas here. Okay. So for the cobblestone, you can click on it. And you see I set it to stone. Also, you always want to check your physical materials. Make sure that it's set to the correct sound. Otherwise, it won't play anything, or it's going to play default or something, whatever's set here. Sometimes it's default. All right. So that's what you want to do for every one of your layers. Okay. And if you want to check your physical materials, you can click here, and you can see I have mine here all in this place. So stone, sand, snow, wood, and you can click on each one of these and set them one at a time to what you want them to be. So to make sure that they're accurate to what you want them to be. And there's a bunch of settings in here I'm not going to go over right now because they're not going to affect the base use of this. This is for like, you know, how'd you say, more advanced use, okay? And you play around with this stuff on your own time. I'm not going to go over any of these things. All right, but you just want to make sure that this down here, the surface type is set to the correct surface for the physical material that you're using, okay? So that's it, all right? Once you have that set, sometimes you may have to do a restart. It's not always true. Sometimes you have to do a restart for these things to take effect. I would do a restart, but once you're done, basically that's it, guys. Once you run on this surface, all of your different layers should have their own sounds just like I do here. All right. For water, I have not set my water up yet because I'm not using the water. You see how low it is. I'm not going to use the water right now, especially on this level. Not right now. I'm thinking about raising the water level a little bit later on, and actually having you be able to go in the water and move around in the water. But that's it for that one, guys. fairly simple, guys. That's the setup. I'm not gonna get into any more of this, the sound and the audio, unless you guys want to get more deeper into audio. I think I have another audio video that I have put out for audio. Um, if you guys got any questions, guys, Discord should be back up already, and just shoot me some questions if you have any, and I'll try to help you out. All right, that's it, man. Amp Capo, Black Adonis Games. I hope you guys projects are going good for you. Like, subscribe, and make sure you tell a friend, man. I'm out.